Hello everyone, welcome to the Brisbane Big League. East and Norths on top of the competition ladder after the first round. Both teams on 16 points with 8 wins and just the 1 loss. If we look at that for and against story, Norths have the superior attacking record, East the superior defensive record. And the difference between for and against has given Norths the honour of hosting this Chairman's Trophy battle. In the first round, East defeated Norths, but on that occasion the Devils were without a number of their state league players. Now today they're again disrupted, Tom.
Well, apparently Norths are up in arms about Craig Groff not being able to play today because of his commitment to the Queensland residents side. Now, he's the only representative in Australia not being able to play for his club. Now, that's a funny decision by the QRL. Now, with Craig Groff out and other players out because of injuries, that makes East slightly favourites. But I'm still going for my old club, the Devils, to knock over East in a very close match.
And the Norths Devils, led out by Daryl Duncan, on their home ground, and a big crowd here today for this match. The fullback is Noel Tierney, Guy Harvey on one wing with Brett Kelso and Craig Lee in the centres, Dan Cramery on the other wing, John Catton is 5'8", Paul Macbeth is the halfback, Darren Bell at lock forward, Daryl Duncan and Bob Campbell in the second row, Campbell wearing jersey 19, and the front row Joe Topping, Troy Evans and Ian McKenzie, coach Dave Brown. East led out by Gavin Payne, and at fullback, Paul Mulverhill. On one wing, Rob Cannon. Payne in the centre with Greg Street. Andrew McGowan on the other wing. Rob Duncan at 5'8". Paul Green is the halfback. At lock forward, Steve Dowden. The second row pair, Scott Nielsen and Darren Crothers. The front row, Paul Lusk wearing jersey 14, Andrew Neve and Steve Herman. Ian McKenzie in the front row for Norths today. The 27-year-old Glazier. Played with Harvey Bay and Valleys before Norths. He takes it up all day, a very hard worker in the centre of the ruck. And in the second row for the Tigers, Scott Nielsen, one of the up-and-coming players, a big future ahead of him. By all accounts, his form over the last season or two, very impressive. Big job today in the second row. Jeff Mines, the president of the Brisbane Referees Association, is the referee, and play underway from the boot of Paul Mulverhill. Deep down into the Devils' territory, and the breeze in this first half is behind Norths, and it will be of some assistance to them, Tom.
Yes, it definitely will. Well, with that assistance of the breeze, you'll find that Daryl Duncan will do the kicking for Norths, and also the halfback in Paul Macbeth. You will find too that number 5, Denny Camery, he'll be actually playing in the centres, and Craig Lee will be on the wing.
Back it goes to Duncan, and he gets it away downfield, but the referee has called it back, and this is implementing the downtown rule by the look of it. Referee saying that the chasers who went downfield went far too early. Before that ball had cleared away from the 2 men in the play the ball area, the chasers going downtown early. This is the new rule that the International Board wants to be implemented, or not so much a new rule as much as the old rule, but they're going to enforce it.
Well, I think that's, I don't like that new rule because now we see Norths under pressure. They just, they won't be able to police it without making mistakes on the enforcing of the rule.
Paul Mulverhill to shoot the goal, the former New South Wales and Queensland B rugby union player, has scored 4 tries and kicked 20 goals this season, tallying 56 points up till now. Close to the post, should have no difficulty, and the first points are on the board to the Eastern Suburbs Tigers. They lead 2 points to 0. Harvey gets play underway with the early strike by East. Tom, I can't agree with you on that rule. I think it's good to see it being implemented to stop the chase downfield, putting too much pressure on fullbacks, and it also may take a little bit of sting out of the kicking game, which is tending to dominate so much these days.
Well, I think what they're mainly doing is trying to look for excuses for fullbacks, Warren. That's what I think they're trying to do. See, the thing is with fullbacks now, we've got no specialist fullbacks in the game. There's no more Langlands, there's no more Edie's. So I think it's, I don't like the rule at all.
And that kick is out on the full from Mulverhill. He was put under plenty of pressure. Good chasing that time by Norths. The scrum packing midway between the east quarter and halfway. Fed by Macbeth, and he comes away with it for North. Harvey tries to get away from dummy half, but the defence quickly up on top of him. 30 metres out from the east line. This is Topping, Joe Topping. They haven't made much ground in 3 tackles. And there's a player down for Norths.
Yeah,
could be Evans.
Yeah, the hooker Troy Evans, and I only hope he's not seriously injured because he is a good player and Norths will miss him.
As that ball was swung back well. Getting it back was Campbell. Took a little bit of a risk, but he got the pass away. It's a 5th tackle. They're only 12 metres out, Norths. A chance as Duncan puts it up high. The Breeze just carrying it forward a little. Norths have got it back, quick passing and intercepted. Intercepted by Andrew Neve, the hooker. And that was a real chance.
Yeah, Norths are putting pressure on East nice and early in the game, and Daryl Duncan with a beautiful bomb. Have a look at this ball, goes right up, and who was it there? It was, I think it was Guy Harvey went up for the ball and retrieved it.
So now East trying to get it away from their quarter line. Nielsen calls for it. And a tackle comes over the top. And the penalty goes to East against that swinging arm, which could have done some damage. It didn't really make contact.
Yeah, as we see here on the replay, it definitely was a high tackle from Troy Evans, and he's just going to have to keep them tackles down. Otherwise, he mightn't be on there for too long.
Kick finds touch. 6 metres short of halfway. Putting his head down is Paul Lust. A late inclusion in the East starting lineup. Originally, Peter Anderson was named at prop forward, but John Lang deciding to go with Paul Lusk up front. Now Darren Crothers takes play 10 metres inside North's half. Big back line set as Green calls for it and moves it wide. Cutting back inside is Duncan. And he makes a break. Rob Duncan down Bill, has plenty of support. Oh, he's beaten the fullback. He should have passed it. He is very lucky to have got away with that. Hard to believe when he's made such a great run, but that was bad football. He had 2 men on his right-hand side. Could easily have fed the simplest of passes, but instead took the fullback on, brushed him off. Poor tackle in the end made. Here it is, Duncan stepping beautifully. Shows plenty of speed to cut through and had men outside. Fooled the fullback, though, who, like everybody else, was expecting him to pass, and he scores underneath the posts.
Yeah, good football here by Rob Duncan, and actually and some bad football. Thank the Lord that he did score the try, because he had Gavin Payne sitting on the outside, but he decided to take the fullback on, and he did beat the fullback Noel Teeney and scores a try.
Duncan, the try scorer, 25-year-old police officer, scoring in the 5th minute. Mulvihill right in front of the posts. Made no mistake with his first shot at goal, which was an easy one. And this is even easier. Right in front of the non-existent black dot. I don't think there is a black dot there. There's an upright beckoning him to plant it right over the top of it. Mulvihill adds the extras, had no difficulty at all. And East skip away to a very handy 8 points to 0 lead after just 7 minutes of play.
Yeah, we see the ball go out alongside a very well-planned East back line, but young Robbie Duncan, seen that they were very light on in defence up the middle, then decided to take the fullback Noel Toomey on and scored a good try, and with 8 points, East look set for a reasonable win here. Harvey kicking down towards the goal line, didn't quite get it that far even though he had the Breeze behind him, and Nielsen brings it back. Good bumping run too. So East have laid down the challenge well and truly to North already, scoring the early try and the 2 goals. Well, you can hear Daryl Duncan out there calling his players to move up in these rucks because their defence was a bit light on, but here we see a great tackle there by Troy Evans. Kicking from dummy half is Neve. Sends Tierney back to his 22. Good chase though from Green, right around the ankles. Well, that's good to see the young halfback Green there. He put the kick in and chased his own kick down and did a tremendous tackle there on the fullback Noel Teeney. Mackenzie hits it up. It runs into some solid defence. That was Lusk underneath him. Now Duncan swings it wide.
court in centre field, though, is Catton. John Catton coming in at 5'8" for Norths. Craig Groff, as Tom mentioned earlier, not included in the team, even though he was training with them all week in the expectation that he would play. As Duncan kicks downfield, and Green, well positioned, swings it out to Mulvihill. Tries to give him some room, but pretty good chasing game by Norths there. The back line came down. They didn't just leave it to the forwards to chase that kick. So there was a good line of defence right across the field. Street to play it, 30 metres out from his own line. This is Herman. Now Dowden, straight up the middle. Steve Dowden at lock forward. Swing it a little wider this time. Duncan it is, stepping dangerously. In the run for that try, there was no North's defence moving out to cover the inside sidestep by the 5'8", and he went straight through.
Well, actually, Rob Duncan, every time he touches the football, he does look dangerous. And it's just Warren that actually his father, Bobby Duncan, played with me in the Air Force.
Must have been a few years ago now.
It was a few years ago.
And now good work by North, up to halfway with Ian McKenzie. Cramery at dummy half, getting it wide. This is Bob Campbell. North starting to make inroads now. Duncan back on the inside to Topping, or to Campbell I should say.
Well, on two occasions there, Bobby Campbell took the ball up, but both times he was able to get rid of the football with two good passes. Signs of a good player.
Duncan goes to the air. Mistimed leap, but Duncan comes up with it again on the bounce, and they've got 6 more tackles. Must have been touched by an East hand in there. Only 15 metres out. Long ball comes out. Taken there by Craig Lee. Wings it back on the inside. Still going the North. Only 10 metres out. Played back by Brett Kelso. East defence hanging on. Catton trying to beat tackles in centre field. Evans at dummy half. Working it through Macbeth. He's got plenty of runners outside. Now here's a chance for Tierney, and he's over. Noel Tierney coming into the back line. Originally selected at centre, but playing at fullback after Pat Chumavavi was forced to pull out with a hamstring injury, and that was a good try. Moving it wide. North score their first try of the match. Duncan got it going in the right direction. The defence held off Tierney. There were plenty of other support runners, and the defence was in two minds, and Green making the tackle too late.
Well, actually, good work here by Daryl Duncan. He picked the right option to go down their left-hand side, gave a good ball to Noel Tierney, who scored a very good try. Tierney,
25 years of age, and he hits back after missing the tackle that led to East try. He scored one in reply. Guy Harvey to attempt this conversion. 6 metres in from touch. The breeze blowing from behind his back. So just need to aim out at that right-hand upright. It's hooking around, maybe a little too much, and he misses. Harvey, who's compiled 66 points for the season, and East lead by 8 points to 4.
Well, actually, this try here resulted from a bomb by Daryl Duncan before, which enabled North to get the 6 tackles again, and they scored that try there on their second tackle of that set of 6. So good work by North.
North and East leading North 8 points to 4.
Dave Asplin is on the field for North, replacing Darren Bell. An early change. Bell looks as if he will take further part in the game, however.
Did he come off because of the blood bin, did he?
Well, the trainer is just attending to him at the moment, but he doesn't look to be badly injured, so I'm just not too sure what is happening down there. Darren Bell, an important cog in the North's team.
Well, for Darren Bell to come off in a game of rugby league, he has to be really crook, because I remember back in 1990 in the grand final against Valleys, he played virtually the whole game with a broken it was a cheekbone, I think it was, and jaw.
It looks as if he's got a wrist problem. Mulvihill goes back inside his own quarter, turns around, and well tackled by Dan Cramery. Now Rob Cannon tries to dart away, quickly wrapped up. Green. Support out wide. Cutting back in is McGowan. In centre field. Andrew McGowan, the winger to play it. Lusk, who's getting through plenty of work early on, Paul Lusk. Dowden has plenty of runners. Gavin Payne hits it up well. Cannon now stepping back in field. Keeps it alive. Rob Duncan. Tackle just short of halfway. Good burst as East swung the ball wide. It's the 5th tackle. Green goes to the line. Running it on the last. Now he gets it to Cannon. There's the kick ahead. Back goes Harvey and covers it up well. Harvey, an experienced competitor. Been up in A-grade football for 6 years now. The Norths go on the attack inside their own 22, trying to move it wide. Evans getting it out to his front row at Topping.
Yeah, Topping's here. Warren, he's a type of player. He'll work all day. He's not scared to take the ball up and in a tough for his strap back.
He's up inside the 5. Penalty goes to Norths, just as Duncan had launched the kick downfield. Harvey looks for touch. And kicking to the far side of the field with the breeze behind him, blowing diagonally towards that far corner. Topping takes it from the tap. Duncan has Mackenzie running off him. Hammered to ground. Good defence by East. They're only 30 metres out. Campbell spinning in the tackle, looking for support. This is Asplin, the replacement player.
Keep your eye on Daryl Duncan here. He'll be scheming to upset East somehow here. Always planning, always scheming.
So too is Troy Evans. He's gone close. Now Campbell gets it out to Duncan. He kicks on the last. Mulvihill on his own goal line. Takes it well. No real pressure on the fullback, but he couldn't afford to make a mistake. Right in front of their own post. He's trying to carry it away. The defence of Campbell is good. And more good defence comes in, this time from Catton going low. Playing it back with Street. His penalty goes to East. A heavy tackle going in. And Lusk is prone on the ground.
Yes, actually it was Bob Campbell there who went a little bit high on Paul Lusk, but whether he's the culprit or not, I don't know, but he has been singled out here by the referee.
He's been sent off.
He's been sent.
He has been sent off, not for 10 minutes either. He is off. And Norths will play 3/4 of this game with 12 men. Lusk getting back on his feet. Let's have another look at this tackle. Well, Campbell was on the left-hand side of the screen, not in fact involved as the man hit the ground, but there was the swinging arm that went through the air.
Yeah, actually it was Joe Topping and the halfback Paul Macbeth who did the tackle, and actually he missed with the swinging arm.
I don't know whether he missed because Lusk was down on the ground for some time, but from that angle it certainly didn't look as if there was major contact, but the referee was much closer and maybe he saw contact made, which put Lusk down and out. So Norths with 12 men now.
Well, what we've seen from that, I don't think that needed sending off, but then again, like you said, the referee was in a better position than us.
Right on the halfway line now. Cutting back inside is Prothers. He just avoided a tackle, which the referee signaled was across the chest. It was getting up a little high. Green gets it to the blind side with Street. And you suddenly feel the intensity lift. There's nothing like a sending off to suddenly make the players well aware that this is a tough match they're involved in. Now the penalty goes to East against interference, I believe, on one of the players chasing through after that kick. The referee's signal there. Seems to be someone put the shoulder into the man who put the kick through.
Yeah, well, you see the young halfback here, Green, he does a little chip over, but now he stumbles, but he runs into the back of Troy Evans. Now, to me, I can't see how that warranted penalty either. What can you see there?
Well, I think it must have been the stumble was caused by just a half shove, just enough to put him off balance. Just inside the quarter line, Mulvihill, a very deliberate kicker that misses. Good chasing, though, pins Tierney in the in-goal area to force the dropout. East leading 8 points to 4. Good crowd on this holiday weekend. Nielsen slips a pass to Green, and he keeps it going to Street. Good work by East from the tap. Out it goes now to McGowan. Down the touchline he goes, putting the kick ahead. Street racing after it. The referee signals at 6 more tackles. Oh, saved brilliantly back there by North. Great work to prevent a try. Great football by East from their own quarter line. McGowan flying downfield. Herman was there to try and knock the pass down. Tierney giving chase back as well.
But I'll tell you who did that good work. It was Ian McKenzie, the front row forward. You watch Ian McKenzie here, knocks the ball forward, but didn't stop, kept chasing the ball, and dead set saved a try. What good football by Ian McKenzie.
Mulvihill finds plenty of space, taken by McKenzie from behind. Neve pushes off Asplen, gets it back to Nelson, backing him up. And the cracks are really starting to appear. You wonder how long it'll be before East score. Green goes straight through himself. Back to his feet. He wasn't held down. Finally slammed to ground by Macbeth.
Yeah, bad missed tackle there by Joe Topping, and East are looking dangerous.
Lusk slips it to Street. Back to Duncan now. Duncan could go all the way. He's over. It had to come eventually. Too much possession for East, and the hole starting to appear in what is becoming a ragged defence. It's East 12, North 4. Lusk taking the ball up, battering away. He slipped the pass to Street. He looked on the inside, and there was Duncan. And Duncan, who scored the first try, makes it 2 for the match.
Yeah, that's a good work here by Paul Lusk. He really hits the line, and Joe Topping doesn't stop the progress of the ball. Gets the ball back to Street, on to Rob Duncan. And now this is the little fella's second try, and he's having a blinder.
There he is again, originally born in New South Wales, Rob Duncan. And the police officer has arrested 2 tries for himself. Paul Mulvihill, the 24-year-old sales rep, right in front of the sticks, adds 2 more points. And East now in a commanding position in this match. They lead 14 points to 4, but with an extra man, it's going to be hard for North from here.
Well, actually, here we see East really on the attack. But look at the North players. They're just standing there. They're not moving up. They're not putting the East players under any pressure. And like little Robbie Duncan, maybe if North don't move up, he'll end up scoring about 6 tries.
Neve splits them up the middle. Well, North are simply going to have to plug the middle and hope that East can't outflank them, because the breaks up the centre are killing them at the moment. Here's Gavin Payne. He decides he'll go back into the centre too. Seeing that it's marshmallow defence, why not?
Well, Andrew Neve, the little hooker for East, he's actually a halfback, and he's got plenty of space, and if he starts running from dummy half, well, North's in all sorts of trouble.
Green too ambitious. There was a forward pass. He had his head through the gap, saw support on the inside. Gavin Payne was looming up, but that pass was forward.
Well, he had to try the pass, I suppose, but took the risk, and what resulted was a penalty. Good decision by the ref there.
Harvey finds touch. He gains 15 metres. 5 minutes remaining till the half-time break, as North swing it wide and get outside the East defence, which was quite a compressed defensive line. Crameri taking the tackle.
And actually, East were a bit short out there in that back line, Warren, and good tactics there by Duncan, and they're throwing the ball around here again.
Tierney it is, swept upon by Payne. He loses the ball in the tackle, knocked on. Scrum will pack.
Yeah, here we see Noel Tierney. He shouldn't have tried to pass that ball, and now gives East the opportunity of winning it from the scrum, which they will, and put them under pressure once again.
Plenty of weight from the Tigers in that scrum, and Mulvihill now coming around the blind side, taken by Harvey. Cannon. Well, will we see East fall into the trap that so many teams do when they've got an extra man, trying to do too much on the early tackles? Sometimes teams think to be... Oh, well, it wasn't quite high in the end. Mackenzie, or was it Evans, pulled out
Troy
of it?
Evans it was, yeah.
It looked horrific.
Yeah, young Troy Evans was coming through, or should I say the old Troy Evans.
That pass straight over the touchline. To the point I was going to make, too often teams who have an extra man think that, well, because of that, they should just throw the ball wide and the gaps will be there, and they don't always just play the normal football up the middle and get that bit of momentum going first. They tend to start playing a little too fancy and make mistakes.
Well, this is right, but also I still think East are handling the game pretty well. They're taking a few rucks up in the forwards, and then when Norths are short, they then do spread the ball.
Kelso playing it, 10 metres short of halfway. Now it's Cramery. Tierney skirts around the outside of them. Picks up Lee, driven towards the touchline and into touch. Bad mistake. The one loss by East this season was to Valleys in the very first round of the competition. They were absolutely whipped that day, 32 points to 4. It was 6 tries to 1 at Langlands Park. And that came after a poor pre-season by East. At that stage, things were looking grim for the Premiers. But since then, they've won 8 in a row. Dowden. Just inside North's half. Herman. Playing it steadily now. Mulvihill. Kicks for the far touchline. Hooking it back away from the fullback. That's a good kick by Mulvihill. 5 metres out from the corner post. It beats Lee into touch. And that ball lost by Macbeth at the scrum base. North have still got it, though. Lee to play it back. Duncan hurried up to get into dummy half. This is Asplin. And talking of North's one loss this season, well, it came against East, against the team they're playing today. That was the only time Norths have faltered after starting the season strongly. Catton gets it wide. Macbeth. Duncan dummying to kick. Now he swings it wide. Cramery throws it back inside. Duncan can't hang on to it. That is the last tackle. Knocked on, and that is a handover. As the halftime siren sounds, so East, having established a solid lead in the first half, every expectation that they can go on with it. They've scored 2 tries to 1. It's 14 points to 4 in favour of East.
Together with coal pouring cans and canteen on the lower level.
And let's take a look at the half-time stats. The scrums are 3 apiece, none against the feed. The penalties dead even as well, 4 each. And tackles in possession, 68 for Norths, 71 for the Tigers. So possession all about the same. The error count, 14 missed tackles by Norths. It could even be more than that really with 1 man down, 6 by East. Handling errors about the same. 18 errors overall by Norths to East's 11. And the tackle counts. The front rowers leading the way for both teams. Ian Mackenzie with 18, Joe Topping 16, Paul Macbeth the halfback with 12 tackles for Norths, and for the Tigers, Steve Herman, Scott Nielsen with 11 and Paul Lusk 11. Overall defence 105 versus 100. Very even statistical counts. The task ahead of Norths as they start the second half from the boot of Harvey. And Nielsen brings it back. He has been standing deep to run off whoever takes the kicks downfield from each restart. And they're quickly back to their 22 in 2 tackles. The run now by Herman, who we saw was leading the tackle count. Neve, Andrew Neve. Good break from him too, and he finds support inside. Going downfield is Dowden. Taken by Harvey. A great break. And early inroads for East right at the beginning of this second half. The big break now comes out to Street. Mulvihill with him. Just hesitated for a moment. It's the 5th tackle. Up it goes from Gavin Payne. Useful bomb. Plenty of pressure at the back. Knocked backwards. Mackenzie there to pick up the scraps. And the pressure really forced right on Norths from the outset. Forced to drop out now.
Well, this is a good kick here by the captain, Gavin Payne. Puts Norths under enormous pressure, and they put the young player, Dave Aspen, under pressure. He drops the ball, and they're in awful trouble, Norths.
In the early games today, East won the Colts 36-8 in the Chairman's Trophy battle there. And in reserves, another win to East, 22-18. So the East club having a tremendous first round in the Chairman's Trophy battle in all three grades. They've got two safely in the trophy cabinet. What's it going to be in A grade? As Crothers goes up the centre. Back on the inside as Lusk. Nice ball turned back inside to him. He's only 5 metres out. A try here will well and truly sink Norths. Going hard as Nielsen. Couldn't break them. It's a 5th tackle.
Making good yardage, the East forwards with Lusk and, who was it? Steve Herman making great yardage.
But Neve not able to do anything with it on the last tackle. Tried to kick it from dummy half. Didn't even attempt to pick the ball up. Thought he would just kick it through from dummy half and kicked it straight into the Norths player, and the Devils have it.
Well, I think for Norths, players like Noel Teeney and Guy Harvey and also Brett Kelso, you know, they're not being seen with one man short. That Warren, they really have to get involved and take a bit of pressure off the Norths forwards.
East caught up inside the 5 metres. Penalty goes to Norths. As Topping puts his head down. Evans darting down the blind side. Well tackled by Neve, his opposite number. They're making ground though, Norths now.
Well, if you look at the scoreboard, it's only 14-4 now. If Norths can score a try, can put them back in the match, and it could just resurrect them.
Catton taken a little high. Duncan. Quick moving defence of Herman coming in quickly on him. Now they work it wide. Topping out to Mackenzie. He's moving up smartly. It's a 5th tackle. Duncan puts it high. Again, not all that deep, but plenty of time for the chasers to come through. Well taken by Rob Cannon on the wing. Payne from dummy half. Went straight under Harvey's arm, which was just left hanging out.
Well, this is another good bomb by Daryl Duncan. But look at Robbie Cannon. Doesn't take his eyes off the football, and super take by the winger.
Nielsen. It's outside the 22-metre line. Poor play the ball, made it difficult for his hooker, Andrew Neve. Neve, a former halfback, Tom.
Yeah, and actually he's having a good game here at hooker. He's making great inroads from the dummy half position, and he's going to cause Norths a lot of headaches.
Tierney brings it back just short of the halfway line. East leading 14 points to 4. Lee coming into the team in the shuffle with the withdrawal of Chumavave.
Well, that's better work by Guy Harvey. He's got to get off his wing. He's got to help these blokes out. And here we see Norths get a penalty with East within the 5 metres.
Right in centre field. It's 32 metres out. Guy Harvey will have a look at it. Daryl Duncan decides that, yes, he'll have a shot for goal. No, they've changed their mind and gone for touch. Daryl Duncan appeared to signal to the touch judge to send the ball boy out with some dirt.
Well, they definitely want to score off this set of 6 because if that was me, if I was the captain, I would have kicked for goal. Like I said, would have put them on 6 points and it would have made the ball game.
Here's Duncan steaming down the blind side and he goes straight through. Comes around closer to the posts. Well, I thought he's made a monkey out of you. And me, because I would have gone for the goal too. But Daryl Duncan has done it all himself. He was the one who decided not to shoot for goal. And on the second tackle after the tap, he came storming down the blind side. Look at this run. Charges over the line, realises that there's not too much defence there and improves the position, and a valuable 15 metres closer to the post. Great work, Daryl Duncan.
Yeah, but talk about getting egg on your face. Like I said, I would have did say kick for goal too. Now, in a position like that, Daryl Duncan is unstoppable, and well back in the ball game now.
There he is, Daryl Duncan, 29 years of age, as he made clear to us in a previous encounter, not 30 years of age. Originally from Mount Isa, the Rothmans medalist of last season. Guy Harvey with a very important kick. He can bring Norths right back into this game. Well, that try has done that anyway, but this can make it extremely interesting. It's a good-looking shot. It's there. Good kick from Guy Harvey from an angle. And the Devils right back in this match. It's East 14, North 10.
What a great game, rugby league. You know, all of a sudden it looked like East would win by 40, but Daryl Duncan, by his right decision, has got them back in the ball game.
And he fooled Mulvihill, who thought he was going to put that ball down and held off the tackle.
Made the kick a lot easier for Guy Harvey.
We've had 7 minutes of play in the second half. And from the start of play in this half, the big break by East, the writing was on the wall that it could be a landslide. Instead, Norths have hit back. And that will certainly give them some confidence. They just need to control possession now to keep that confidence up. 2 penalties against East for being inside the 5 metres carried North downfield in the lead-up to that try. Lee in a dummy half. Topping.
You can still see here East with their push-in defence when they defend inside to out, and it's working for them.
Duncan drives Mulvihill back to his goal line. Mulvihill away from Cramery. The tackles, though, coming in, Catton chasing hard. So too was Macbeth. So East only 15 metres out from their own line. Nielsen bumps off Topping. And it's Joe Topping's birthday today, too. 23 years of age today.
Well, he looks a lot older, too. I think he's about old as Daryl Duncan. But Joe Topping is having a good game.
Looks like, was it Baron Richthofen, or what was his name, with that aviator's helmet on?
The Red Baron.
The Red Baron. Last tackle. Back it goes to Mulvihill. And this time the penalty goes against East for the downtown rule. In front of the kicker, well, not just in front of the kicker, but moving off before the ball cleared the 2 men in the play the ball area.
Well, Warren, whatever's good for the goose is good for the gander, and he penalised North in the first minute of the game.
And here is the play the ball, and you can see on the far side the East player going downfield well before the ball was kicked, but really I wonder whether he wasn't back his full 5 metres as the ball went back to the dummy half. Guy Harvey on the East 22-metre line. Midway between the posts and the touchline, and he hooks it through. East in a bit of trouble here as North pegging them back little by little. Just 2 points in it now. The Tigers leading by 14 points to 12 and 28 minutes of play to go. Mulvihill thumps it downfield, and for a moment it looked like it would carry through to the dead ball line, but in the end a good return by Tierney. Now it's Lee, and for the fend and a driving run, he gets it 30 metres out from his own line. Crowd didn't like the tackle from Street, and also in there was Dowden. Mackenzie, 10 metres short of halfway. Duncan gets the pass back well to Macbeth. 5th tackle, just short of halfway. Duncan sends it down towards Mulvihill, but he takes it well, took it on the burst, on the full. Nevertheless, North's able to make fairly easy ground in that set of 6 back from their goal line to the halfway. Now it's a chance for East to do the same. Cannon wants to play the ball all over the top of him. The Norths player lucky not to concede a penalty. It was Evans. Dowden flicks it back inside to Street. On it goes well. Charging downfield, Crothers now. 30 metres out. North's player still coming back on side.
Wasn't that good football there by Dowden? He just put the ball over his head like a basketball player, and and put North under pressure again.
Duncan, Neve. Out there is Lusk in centre field. Out in the backs. Has he lost the ball? No, the referee says play it. They keep it going the same way. Neve pops a little kick through. Cannon coming through. Needs a bounce. Didn't get it. Neve has got the ball. He keeps it on the toe, but he's gone into touch. And that was a close shave for North. All it needed was the bounce. Cannon was flying through. He has got plenty of pace in his winger.
It was a good kick here by Neves, I think, and retrieves the ball, and a bit of bad luck there for East.
The drop out as Dowden brings it back. Cannon has left the field. He's gone back to the trainer. Hasn't actually left the field. He's gone back to the trainer on the halfway. So East with just 12 men at the moment. And Joe Topping has left the field for Norths with Dan Johnson on. Up the middle goes Steve Herman. Just the 2 points in it. 14 points to 12 in favour of East. Nielsen. Good run. Strong run. He's only 6 metres out. Neve at dummy half. Has a go himself. Swings a pass back to Lusk, who took it brilliantly. Lusk came charging through. Hoped that his hooker dummy half, Andrew Neve, would read it. And he did just that. Delivered the pass to him. It was a little bit low, but Lusk has pulled it up from just above his knees, which isn't easy to do when you're on the fly like this. And he has taken that brilliantly to score right underneath the posts.
Good work here by Andrew Neve. He just ducked to the left there a little bit and picked Street up, or number 14 it was, Paul Lusk, and a good try.
Paul Lusk, the big front rower, 25 years of age and a carpenter by trade. And a front rower by football trade by the look of that. That was a good burst.
Yeah, well, he was at 100 mile an hour, very hard to stop.
Paul Mulverhill has kicked 3 from 4. He's having a good day with the boot, but only one of the kicks has really challenged him. And 2 more points. Gives East an 8-point lead, stretches them beyond that danger zone of the converted try. 20 points to 12 in favour of East now.
Yeah, Andrew Neve, he might regret today because he's having a blinder. Now he's, like I said before, he's a halfback. Now he might find his head in the scrums forever.
Street playing on the wing. Brings it back well. Good run from Greg Street. So with Cannon off the field, Davis presumably has moved into the centres with Street back on the wing now. 10 metres inside North's half. Herman turns it back. Green keeps it going. Anderson swinging around. And they end up back where they started. In fact, that last tackle was taken by Windmill. Now they keep it alive well to Duncan.
The two little halfbacks combining well here today. They really read each other's play, and they've been a thorn in Northside virtually all day.
This is Anderson now. Gets it back to Neve. The pass is knocked down. It's 6 more tackles. Play on. Dropped it back by Crothers, and he goes again. He wasn't tackled. He could go all the way. Reaching out. He lost the ball. Fallen on by Payne, but it was not lost forward. They all hung off Crothers. Once he hit the deck, he wasn't held.
And actually, Crothers here, he wasn't held, and it was good work by him. But maybe he did try a little bit hard here near the line and just tries to crawl over, and a bit of bad luck there by the big fella.
And looking at the East lineup at that scrum, Steve Dowden, the lock forward, is standing in the centres. So a lot of changes in both teams, but particularly East. And we've still got 14 minutes of play remaining. It's getting more difficult for North with every minute. Down by 8 points. Mackenzie continuing to work hard.
Good tackle there by the big prop, Darren Crothers. And like you said before, he's having a good game. And, well, mate, I think he'd have to be high up in, for the Player of the Match Award.
Now the mistake made by North as Cramery unable to hang on to that pass, which was shot out towards him. Cramery in the centres for Norths. So the numbers that usually apply to positions don't really hold in this second half of this match. As Green wins the scrum and he tries to dart away, gets the pass, and away they go. Andrew McGowan will sprint in for what will be the match-winning try. Two players converged on the halfback Green as he came the blind side. It left McGowan open, and Andrew McGowan sprinted away. 24 points to 12 in favour of East over North, and that should be enough to win the Chairman's Trophy. Here it was, Green hit the blind side, the winger came into the halfback and left McGowan unmarked. He sprinted the 25 metres without any trouble at all.
Yes, little Green here. Actually, a bad tackle there by Paul Macbeth, but Green read the play very well. Held up the ball there for McGowan, and that's really sealed the match for East.
Andrew McGowan, the 22-year-old carpenter, showing good speed down the wing. Paul Mulvihill with a very difficult shot at goal. It's just a metre in from touch. Mulvihill, whose brother John plays with Balmain in the Sydney League, hits it well, going to be very close, but just to the left of the upright, and the score remains 24 points to 12 in favour of the Tigers with 10 minutes to go. So North with a gargantuan task now. They're down by 12 points, 2 converted tries needed to get on level terms. You would say that some teams would be able to do it, but when you're one man down, and East are playing pretty solid football, it's going to be very hard for the Devils from here.
Yeah, hasn't Steve Herman had a good game? He's been hitting this ball up against his old club, and he's had a great game, Steve Herman.
Another change out there for North. Peter Gibson is on, wearing jersey 18.
Well, I can't, you really can't take too much away from North because they've virtually played a man short for 60 minutes. So really, if you take everything into consideration, it hasn't been a bad performance by them.
No, not at all. As Neve kicks and finds touch. And Neve has been a very busy player today. Not only out of dummy half, but he seems to bob up, backing up, out wide as well.
Oh, yeah, he's had a very, very good game. But like I said, he might regret today because he might just have to keep putting his head in those scrums. And he's only a little bloke, and he'll probably end up with flower ears and a nose like mine.
Not a pretty face to wake up to.
Yeah.
In fact, Neve taking over the hooking spot for this match from Travis Catchpole, who's been hooking for East in recent matches.
One player I'm a little bit disappointed with from North is Brett Kelso, the centre. I think I've only seen him really touch the ball once or twice in this match, and he really hasn't involved himself.
As Daryl Duncan takes them on once more, midway between the North quarter and halfway. Swing it wide to Gibson. Gibson makes the break. Peter Gibson strides up to the halfway line, looks back inside for Tierney, pulled that in well, but played by Noel Tierney. That was a difficult pass to take. They keep it going with a quick play the ball. Johnson, McKenzie, Cramery now, has 2 men outside, gets the pass to Kelso, cutting back in field. The pass over the top, it's play on to McKenzie. Pass looked a little forward, but it was touched in flight. It's 6 more tackles. North now, raiding back upfield. A try here can really swing this game wide open in the last 5 minutes. Duncan gets it to Cramery. This time the defence holds. Dowden moving up quickly on him. They're 10 metres out. Still got a few tackles up their sleeve, though. On the blind side, it's Kelso.
Just watch for Daryl Duncan here. Anything could happen.
Here he goes, inside to McKenzie. McKenzie forging his way up the centre. Only a metre short. Evans at dummy half. Tries to go himself. Flings it out the back. That was smart football. Kelso puts the kick ahead. The chase is on, but it's gone over the dead ball line. And the referee says it was carried over that line by McGowan, so it'll be a dropout.
Yeah, good decision here. Brett Kelso nowhere to go, so he puts a little grubber in, and McGowan, I think he did the right thing.
You're an inspiration, Tom. You've just given Brett Kelso a little bit of a baggie, and he suddenly come back and handled the ball 3 times in a set of 6 and made one good run.
Well, that's happened all day. I give Daryl Duncan a bag in there because he made the right decision. He scored, but that's what the game's about, isn't it?
Well, it just shows that players who have the ability, if they decide to turn it on, can make all the difference. Here's Duncan again, swinging a long pass out to Kelso. The two of them combined this time. But a good tackle by Street stops Kelso 10 metres out. It was only needing one more pass. Now it's Duncan, pops it up for McKenzie, stumbles ahead, reaches out. Was it a double movement? No, he's short, still short. On the blind side, Duncan, quick balls, very close, reaching out. Harvey, I think it is, has scored in the corner. Great football from North. Never say die. And it is Guy Harvey. As I say, the Devils fighting to the last. 24 points to 16. But the kick is going to be a very difficult one. Look at that great pass. Quick hands from Duncan to Tierney, and plunging over was Harvey. Guy Harvey trying to keep the game alive. The 24-year-old police constable. He joined Norths in 1986 as an under-19. Toured France with the Queensland residence team in 1989. They need him to land this goal. From out wide, he gives it a chance, but swinging away, had the distance, not quite the direction, and the score remains 24 points to 16 to Easts. East simply need to control play through this last 4 minutes. But as you were giving credit to North's effort with one man down for 60 minutes, you take your hat off, don't you?
But Brett Kelso, coming back to his game today, well, his nickname is the Phantom. Well, he's really got out of the skull cave in these last dying minutes, hasn't he?
And here they go again as Danny Johnson slips a pass away, but lost by North. Well, they know they've got to play catch-up football. They have to take a few chances, and they're not always going to come off. Here's Green. And Tom, I saw Greg Dowling earlier in the day. He was making a comment about Norths. He said that their discipline had been lacking in the past, that they had good backs, but sometimes the number of penalties the forwards gave away had hindered them. What right of reply as a former Norths coach?
Well, he might have been having a shot at me, but he's entitled to his own thoughts. But you know, that's the way it went with me. And but they still gave away some silly penalties here today, so they really haven't improved in that department too much.
And it didn't stop North making the grand final 2 years ago.
Exactly right.
Here go East, who not only made the grand final last year, but won it. And they're heading towards it again. As the kick put ahead, and Tierney, who's played pretty well at the back for Norths all day long. In the dying stages, let's have a look at the stats. The scrums are 6 apiece. Penalties 8-5 to Norths, so they can't complain about that area. And overall errors, Norths 32, East 20. Tackles in possession, East have had a bit more ball, 132 versus 120. But that sending off was crucial midway through the first half. Bob Campbell sent off. The charge is attacking the head of an opponent as Duncan kicks ahead. I thought that the winger, Cramery, was offside, but the referee didn't think so.
Yeah, I thought he was offside too, but it wouldn't have been much in it. Here goes Jared Duncan.
Great kick by Duncan. Lee giving chase. So too is Mulvihill. Mulvihill wins the race pretty easily in the end and sprints back into the field of play. Now Lee gets across to him. Duncan again showing us his array of skills. I know we give Daryl Duncan plenty of praise, but why not? He's a class act. If you look at East, heading for another grand final on this kind of form, and that's despite losing some of their grand final side. Ian Staines, Darren Wolins and Ken Jackson all playing with the Gold Coast Seagulls. Kurt Wrigley with Cronulla now.
Well, actually, with these, I was very impressed by the halves, Paul Green and Rob Duncan. They've done everything right today. Rob Duncan scoring 2 tries, so they're getting a very good combination together.
Mulvihill looking for his winger, passed it straight over the touchline. There was no one home. There was a quick pass attempted by Mulvihill, but his winger wasn't with him. And they've had a couple of problems down that left wing since Cannon left the field injured. Here's North, their last chance, turning the possession over, and East take the final tackle. And the Eastern Suburbs Tigers have won the Chairman's Trophy. They've defeated Norths, who were top of the first round ladder with them. But both teams can take plenty of credit from that effort. East winning 24 points to 16.
East scored 4 tries to 3. For the losers, Norths tries to Tierney, Darryl Duncan and Guy Harvey, and Harvey kicked 2 from 4. For East, Rob Duncan scored 2 tries, Lusk 1, McGowan 1, and Mulver Hill kicked 4 from 6. Our Lang Park Trust man of the match, selected by Tom Rodonicus, goes to East hooker Andrew Neve, who only returned from playing in France 2 weeks ago. Andrew, is it a bit tougher playing hooker rather than halfback?
Yeah, it is. You've got to run a lot more to stay in the middle of the ruck when they've got the ball. So, it's not too bad. Sort of getting used to it, going with dummy half and that, so, to the standoff.
And you're just back from France. Who are you playing with over there?
A team called the Buccarees. So,
how was it?
Oh, it's different, completely different. You know, the game's not as fast and sort of it's not as tough as what it is here. So getting back into it's a different thing.
Well, that's, what is it, 8 wins out of 9 or 9 wins out of 10, so East on the road for another grand final?
Yeah, I think so. The side's only just been back and you see the spirit's still there and the forwards are still going forward, you know. So, just be back in A grade, I'm happy again, you know, we're at the grand final. Another step, we just take it one step by step, week by week.
Okay, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
East co-competition league.